So, you want to know how to make yourself better at Age of Mythology. You got a little bit of micro down, you got a little bit of macro down, you kind of get that, but what's really the easiest way to find yourself in really good positions in a game? Well, you got to learn how to do build orders properly. I'm telling you, if you aren't using the best builds, it doesn't matter how good you are, you're not going to be able to compete with the players who are. That's just kind of how it is. If you give yourself, I see a lot of like 1700 players who just play for fun, who don't go for these ideas, and they're always going to have just a little bit more struggle against the top players because they're just doing things that work a little bit better. And oftentimes there's not a whole lot of difference between like an 1800 level player and a 1700 level player. It's mostly just a little bit better micro, a little bit better economic management, but mostly just strategy and decision making and build order stuff is there. So we're going to talk today about how I learn build orders. So first things first, I'm going to pull up this thing. This is one thing that I can make. You can do this in Notepad. You don't necessarily need to make a little image like this, but I feel like this helps just a little bit here for the visual aid, so you don't have to see it too much. This is the raw build that I released recently. Let me go full screen so you can see just a little bit better. This is the raw build that my face is in the way. Of course my face is. Why wouldn't my face be in the way? So this is the raw build that I released recently for Mediterranean. So what we're going to do is we're going to adapt this build to set. So the idea of playing a 2-town center Mediterranean build with raw is that you get rain and you don't have to worry about the extra food or whatever. You kind of trading your fish for whatever. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take this and we're going to use it to learn how to do it with set. So set, the idea would be that, well, we don't get the rain, but we do get infinite food out of our monuments. So the thought process here is, how do we manage to get a relatively comparable early game with set to Ra? So the differences are, I need to get 2 monuments instead of 1. I need to get hunting dogs instead of Shadoof, husbandry, and plow, which is definitely going to be possible. And then we just need to see how it goes with producing animals from the Pharaoh. So let's jump into this game and we'll just check out the map and see if we think that this is going to be even remotely possible. This map here looks like things are going to be way too sad because, I mean, let's be honest, some builds are just not meant to work on every single map iteration. And if that's the case, you need to have outs. So I'm going to say that this build has got the out of, if you do not get good hunting spawns, do something different. Because right now I see this, and I say, no, not this one. So let's take a different look, a different map, and maybe we'll have to say, well, we know that this map has got this spawn, so we're going to have to figure out a build for this spawn. All right, onwards and upwards. Let's take a different look at a different map and see what we can see. Okay, so we get 2 aurochs here to start things off. So we're going to give a go at this map. What I'm going to say here is going to be weird. So we're going to be eating our hyena. I know this because I've done a little bit of testing with this. Building the granary straight away is a little bit too painful for my liking. So I want to eat my hyena and I want to be converting these animals here. So first things first, we're going to practice doing this, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do this. We need to make sure we can get all of that happening nicely. And then we convert our hunt. So if this was hippo, or if this was not hippo, if this was boar, or this was aurochs, obviously that's going to be completely fine here. After that, these villagers will be coming onto our pigs, and we're going to jump onto this mining camp, and we're good to go. We throw our house down. And this is how I would practice a build, and this is how you should practice a build. And we pause and we say, okay, we've done the first part of this game and we feel comfortable with that. What you can do now is you can say, all right, I'm going to feel like I can do that completely fine every single time. Let's hit the save button and do the next part. So this is first part done, set, save, and keep going. Alrighty, onwards and upwards. So now we get ourselves the villagers here. This auroch should be converted by the time this pig is up. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Come over here. Pharaoh's going to come onto this location here because we need that. Next villager comes over here. So does this. This guy comes over here. Ah, damn it. I didn't want to eat that. Oh well. And we're off to the races. So that's that much. Okay, so now we pause and we go, okay, we got up to this point. What goes wrong now? These villagers here look like they're going to be able to dump in time, so that's fine. We could save now, but let's keep going. If we have to force drop, we'll force drop. We don't need a force drop. Happy days. And we come over here onto the gold. Apparently I didn't build this mining camp correctly. Imagine not building the mining camp correctly. That's the thing. Great. All right, onwards and upwards. We'll get our auroch over onto this position here. And we might need to get more hunt here. Looks like we don't have all too much. So things are a little bit sad where that's concerned, but hey, what can you do? Let's just jump over here, convert those to this. Maybe obviously not. You might need to cast yourself vision if you can't find the stuff you need to find, but we do have that. So we're just abusing a little bit of map hacks here just for the fact that we want to see what's possible and see what we need to avoid as the game continues. Bring our herdables back. More fishing ship come out. We are looking to get ourselves about nine fishing ship. At this point, we could probably save here. I'm going to keep going because I feel pretty good about this build at this point. And if things go wrong, they go wrong. I want to throw down a monument here. As this villager is coming in, we need to dump our fishing ship. Up we go. Just come over here. Come over here. And okay, so now we pause, and now we're in like another point in the game. I need to delete this and rebuild this mining camp because it's bad. Obviously, you probably would want to start again if this was the case, but let's just do a save and we say second part done. So we can come back and we can redo all this if we want to. So we'll rebuild this mining camp here. And get that final fishing ship, and we'll throw our docks down. Dream. We need a house builder. Do that. These docks may be a little bit late, but what can you do? Thing is, against an average build, I would say you're looking at about 4:30 that you're going to be getting attacked. If that's the case, then you need to kind of garrison at about 5 minutes, I would say. I think most people are advancing around then. We come over, we get ourselves the town center. When it gets to 5 minutes, we have to do the thing. We also need to be thinking about getting ourselves that second monument, otherwise everything goes pear-shaped. Bit of garrisoning here. Let me get ourselves the monument. And we're onwards and upwards. Oh, I forgot to build the granary. Okay, we made a mistake. Let's go back. Why do we need a granary? Well, because reasons. We deleted this, didn't we? Okay, we need to build a granary. So I made this mistake, so we come back. We do this again. Get the bloody thing up. These two guys come over here. Finish here, you come here, you come here. Wait, you can build me the granary over here. Happy days, why not? The reason we need the granary is because hunting dogs needs to come in. Without hunting dogs, everyone's sad. And we can continue to try and make sure we get the right stuff happening as the game kind of continues, but we didn't build our houses, did we? Well, that's going to be bad. Is it too late? I think it's too late. Yeah. Well, back we go. Things we forget. And this is exactly how I would train it. Make sure we don't forget. Keep going. Once we get this right, then we go back and we try and do it without saves. Happy days. Make sure we don't build this next fishing ship. Dock and dock. Granary is up. Goods. We can scout around and try and find some. Probably not going to be herdables anymore, but whatever. Okay. Now we come over here. Get the thing. And we're off to the races. Garrison, everything. Happy days. We need to get ourselves that. Oh, no wonder I don't have the gold. Lol. Okay, you're being dumb. Well, that's a bit unfair. That wouldn't happen normally. Normally, I'd have enough gold right now to have my monument going up and get hunting dogs. But that's not going to happen, so it'd be sad. And onwards and upwards. Get ourselves the hunting dogs. Probably want to be building villages here if we can. And we can get ourselves big axe. And I feel like that's as good as it's going to get from this run through, and we'd have to just start again and go for the thing. But this is kind of the idea is utilize the save function. Don't waste time on the stuff that is kind of unimportant when you're practicing these. And get good. Get good quick. We'll see if we can get a decent advance time here to the heroic age. The next question is, what is the actual plan here with the build? Because now you got the build, what's next? And the plan is, well, your opponent's gone hard on water somewhat. So we'll pause now. Your opponent's gone somewhat hard on water. So in order to idle these fishing ships, if they don't idle these fishing ships, obviously you don't garrison them, right? But in order to idle these fishing ships, they need at least one longboat on each of these things. If they only go 3 longboats, and you go for the heroic age and they get town centers or whatever, you can fight them with heroic age on water if you want. Take this back with the siege ships, do whatever you want. But if they do put a lot into this water, say they build 6, if they build 8 archer ships, you will be able to hit a timing on your opponents with the land because they've invested resources into the water, which you haven't. So you're able to hit some sort of timing. So if that's the case, we need to think about what sort of timings we can hit here with set. So that's where we're kind of going here, I would say. And got some idle villages. Get over here.
Rig, UIR, NU, Rig, no. Rig, no, Rig, UIR,
and up we go. Happy days. All right, so these villages here can come over onto wood. These villages here can come over onto this. You can stop this and come over onto this. And we keep going over here. Maybe just a little bit. We do want to get ourselves our hand axe. I mean, like, maybe obviously, maybe not obviously. This part of the build is you're gonna have to be kind of reacting to what your opponent's gonna do. So you might have to think about that, where that's concerned. But that's the thing. We do need maybe a handful more on food here. And then we can go kind of all onto wood or something and go for a really big wood timing or something. Like, see what we can do. Get over here.
You need to refer.
Wait, I said, get over here. All right, maybe don't. Maybe come over here then. Okay, just be idle. No worries. They should have been over here, but they weren't. I finished. Do this. Get stuff. You see, we have a lot of resources, so that's nice. And we can go for raids now or whatever, but not sure it's really that important. If there's a gold mine over here, we should probably go into that. And the question is, how fast can we get ourselves the resources to hit something worthwhile here? So if we take a look at like what this kind of timing looks like, we're looking at about a 1030 kind of build here with this kind of stuff, right? So this is the kind of timing you're looking at hitting. So if this is what we get, so if we get this much at like 11 or 10 minutes and 30 seconds, what can you do to defend this? Or what would your opponent potentially conceivably have here? Answer is probably they're going to have somewhere in the vicinity of, I would say, 9, 11, 12, 13, maybe 15 fishing ships, and maybe have a second or third town center. So if you can come in and kill off the hometown center with, well, ask yourself how many units they have. Probably not many. If you're playing against Poseidon, they might have ceasefire, but chances are they're probably going through Ares or Athena. But there's not a lot of conceivable ways in which this is 100% going to be defended. So you're going to get a little bit of value from this attack most of the time. You don't necessarily have to bring the villages either. You could just bring the army with two siege towers or 3 siege towers, probably better. It's really hard for villagers to stop a town center going down when you have the chariots here to shoot them down. Not only that, you can also get crocodiles to set out with your feral upgrade to help you out here and do some things. And also you have to remember you have a potential to go to the mythic age behind this to do a little bit more damage. So that's my thought process here on how to learn the build. I realized I was on the wrong scene just now, so let's drop back to this scene. Sorry about that. You didn't get to see my resources there for the entirety of that build. But point is, that's the build. That's the idea. And that's how you practice this kind of stuff. So if you want to learn any of the builds, get yourself a cheat sheet of some variety. You can jot that down yourself. If you watch a recorded game, you can try and do the build. And use yourself some save file shenanigans so you don't have to practice the tedious parts over and over again. Anyways, that's what I got to say. And if you enjoyed this type of video and want to see more, let me know. And I'll see you guys in the next one.